Good evening, children. Today I am going to begin the chapter The Mughal Empire. Okay, and as you know, children, that this particular era or this Mughal Empire was from the year 1526 to 1857. This is chapter 9, Medieval India, the Mughal Empire. No, let's talk about firstly the re-revised syllabus. According to the re-revised syllabus, in our syllabus we are having only the sources. Three sources are there. The first one is AIN-I-AKBARI, the second one is the Taj Mahal, Jama Masjid and Red Fort. AIN-I-AKBARI, Taj Mahal, Jama Masjid and Red Fort, these are the sources. And apart from this, we would be studying political history and administration of Akbar. So these are the topics according to the re-revised syllabus. So now children, firstly I should give you a brief description about the Mughal Empire. So you all would be knowing, okay, as you all would be knowing, children, that the history of the Mughal Empire, the history of the Mughal rulers is one of the most important epochs of the history of India. अगर हम लोग इंडियन हिस्ट्री की बात करते हैं और मुगल्स को नहीं पढ़ते हैं, then it is incomplete. They were inhabitants of Central Asia. The Mughals were the inhabitants of Central Asia. They did not come to India to trade, but to conquer and rule, which they did for nearly 200 years. They established a strong and powerful empire which ruled over India from 1526 till the death of Aurangzeb in 1707. The empire weakened and declined after Aurangzeb's death, though the Mughals continued to rule in and around Delhi. It was finally ended by the Britishers after the Great Uprising of 1857 or the Revolt of 1857. Means in 1857 this dynasty, this empire, Mughal Empire, totally came to an end. Now children, if we talk about sources, we have quite a good number of historical sources at our disposal, which will help us in a lot in drawing a clear picture of the Mughal Empire that was from 1576 to 1707. Why I am saying 1707? Because Aurangzeb died in that year, and after Aurangzeb the condition were critical. Okay, in the sources if I talk about, they include archaeological as well as literary sources. In literary sources, however, Abul Fazl's AIN-I-AKBARI. In literary sources, Abul Fazl's AIN-I-AKBARI and monuments like Humayun's tomb, Fatehpur Sikri, Agra Fort, Taj Mahal, Jama Masjid and Red Fort. All these things are there. But children, we have to study only 4 points. First one is the literary source, that is AIN-I-AKBARI, which was by Abul Fazl, and after that Taj Mahal, Jama Masjid and Red Fort. So now firstly let's move to Abul Fazl's AIN-I-AKBARI. सबसे पहले हम लोग बात करते हैं अबुल फजल की AIN-I-AKBARI के बारे में. So Abul Fazl's AIN-I-AKBARI is regarded as a precious source material for knowing the administration and culture during the reign of Akbar. This book, AIN-I-AKBARI, contains 5 books, each of which throws light on different aspects of Akbar's reign. The first book deals with the imperial household. Remember, The first book deals with the imperial household. The second book deals with the servants of the emperor, the military and civil services. The third book deals with the imperial administration. The fourth book contains information about the Hindu philosophy, social customs, and literature. So these are all the concepts of that book. Now this point would be clear to you. Now after that, let's talk about the other point. My other point is, okay, fifth point I haven't told you. The fifth book contains the wise sayings of Akbar. जो पांचवी पार्ट है इसका, उसमें हमें अकबर ने जो स्टेटमेंट्स कहे थे, जो वाइज सेइंग्स थे, that we have got. This also contains an account of the ancient and biography of the author Abul Fazl. So इस बुक से, through this book we come to know about Akbar and all his administrative concepts. Now children, let's move to the seventh wonder of the world, and that's the Taj Mahal. The name is enough for the Taj Mahal. So, and as you all know that it is situated in Agra on the banks of river Yamuna. It was built by Shah Jahan in memory of his beloved queen Mumtaz Mahal. Ustad Issa, Icse, Ustad Issa was the architect who designed the monument. It was completed in about 22 years. It took nearly 22 years to complete up. A sum of 52.8 billion, a sum of 52.8 billion rupees was spent at today's cost. देखो, ये तब बना था, आज भी इसका कोई हमारे पास सब्स्टिट्यूट नहीं बन पाया. Why? Due to its architectural features. जो इसका मैप था, जो इसका स्केच था, और जो इसके architectural features थे, they were totally unique. So children, now let's talk about the architectural features. अब हम इसके architectural features की बात करते हैं. It is constructed on high plinth. Plinth means इसको ऊंचाई पे बनाया गया है, ऊंचे बेस पे बनाया गया है. It is constructed on high plinth. The lower portion of the main building is square in plane. The lower portion of the main building is square in plane. Third point, it is surmounted by the domed roof, and what we call it as cupolas. It is surmounted by domed roof, that is cupolas, in each corner. The bulbous dome in the center, देखो center में देखो एक dome दिखाई दे रहा है, that is known as the bulbous dome. In the center of the cupolas has the appearance of an inverted lotus. जैसे inverted lotus होता है, उस टाइप का इसको शेप दिया गया. There are 4 similar domes. There are 4 similar domes at 4 corners of the building. इसी तरह चारों कोने में ऐसे 4 डोम दिए गए हैं. 4 smaller domes at the 4 corners of the building. 4 minarets. 4 minarets stand in each corner of the terrace. और टेरेस के चारों तरफ 4 मीनारेट बनाई गई हैं. So these are the features. Now, I hope so that this point would be clear to all. Now my next point is, अच्छा, इसी में in this only this building is itself having दीवाने आम, दीवाने खास, जहांगीरी महल and Akbari Mahal are more prominent. ये सब इन्हीं सब चीज़ों में इस particularly if I talk about आगरा, इन आगरा में ये सारी चीज़ें भी हमें मिल जाती हैं. शाहजहां का था. This was built by Shahjahan, and this structure is one of the most significant of the entire world because it is very charming. It is counted as one of the wonders of the world. और ये किसकी याद में बनाया था? It was made in memory of his beloved wife, that is Mumtaz Mahal. Now children, let's move to the next point, and the next point is Jama Masjid. हमारा अगला point है Jama Masjid. See, if I talk about Jama Masjid is situated in Delhi opposite the Red Fort. लाल किले के सामने है हमारी जामा मस्जिद. It was built by Shahjahan. It was built by Shahjahan between 1650 and 1656. It is the largest in India. This one is the largest in India. Now, my other point is, it costed about rupees 10 lakh. It costed about rupees 10 lakh at that time. अब सोचो 1650 में अगर 10 लाख लगा था तो आज के हिसाब से ये कितना हुआ? मैं सीधा कहूँगा ये उतना हुआ जितनी हमें गिनती नहीं आती है. That is going to be so much. My next point is, now let's talk about the architectural features. क्या architectural features थे इसके? The pulpit raised platform where the chief priest directs the prayer is made of a single block of marble. Again I am repeating, the pulpit. Pulpit क्या होता है? Raised platform जहाँ से जो भी head होता है religion का वो अपनी speech या अपनी prayer करता है start. So the pulpit raised platform where the chief priest directs the prayers is made of a single block of marble. There are 3 great domes of white marble surmounted by golden spires. Now, I hope so the 2 points would be clear to you. The first one we have done was Taj Mahal, one source, AIN-I-AKBARI and Jama Masjid. I hope so all these 3 points would be clear to you. Now let's move to the most important one, and that's none other than Red Fort. And what's the similarity, children? Either I talk about Taj Mahal, either I talk about Jama Masjid or Red Fort. All these 3 were built by Shahjahan. See, it is situated in Delhi. Red Fort is situated in Delhi. It was built by Shahjahan. Its construction began in 1639 AD and was completed in 1648. करीब बनने में इसको 9 साल लगे थे, from 1639 to 1648. It is built of red sandstone and marble. अगर हम लोग इसके आर्किटेक्चरल फीचर्स की बात करें, if I talk about the architectural features, तो इसके जो आर्किटेक्चरल फीचर्स हैं, let's talk about. It is in the shape of a parallelogram. It is in the shape of a parallelogram. Second point is, it has massive walls around it, in which there are 2 gateways. The western gateway is known as Lahori Gate. Okay, and this western gateway, children, was used for ceremonial purposes and the other gateways for private use. And within this fort only, within this Red Fort, there are magnificent buildings including Diwan-e-Aam, Diwan-e-Khas, Moti Mahal, Sheesh Mahal and Rang Mahal. हमें जो ध्यान देना है वो देना है दीवाने आम और दीवाने खास पे. द दीवाने खास इज द lavishly ornamented hall where the peacock throne was placed. जो peacock throne थी वो दीवाने खास में रखी गई थी. It was decorated with pure white marble and inlaid with precious stones. Provision was made for a constant water supply within the fort. और इसका एक अच्छा इंतजाम क्या था, साथ में यहीं पे यमुना नदी थी, तो इस जगह पे 24 घंटे पानी आए उसके भी इंतजामात किए गए थे. अच्छा, आज की अगर हम लोग बात करें तो आज के इसकी प्रेजेंट डे में क्या इंपॉर्टेंस है, तो चिल्ड्रन आई वुड से आप यू ऑल वुड बी नोइंग इट. एवरी ईयर ऑन 15th August the Prime Minister of India addresses the nation from its ramparts to commence the Independence Day celebration. Okay. Now, all these points are clear to you, children? Just answer me fast. Sources are clear. Yeah, children replied soon. The sources are clear. Okay, so now let's move to the other point. Now, one more question. Children, one question is there. My question is, Akbarnama. Akbarnama is a significant historical work of whom? Akbarnama was written by whom? Answer this question. Janvi, Nikhil, Pratham, Aditi, Ridhima, Shubhi. Just tell me, who wrote the Akbarnama? Answer it fast, children. I am waiting for your response. Okay, children. Now let me answer. The answer is Akbarnama is also a very important, significant historical work of Abul Fazl, which threw light on Akbar's life and the royal court. This point is clear. Akbarnama was written by Abul Fazl. Now my next point is, one more point I would like to add in terms of Taj Mahal. The arrangement, in just relevance to Taj Mahal I am saying, the arrangement of the compartment in the interior octagonal chambers connected with one another by diagonal passages is similar. Outstanding inlay work and calligraphy on the outer and inner walls. The mausoleum is surrounded by beautiful gardens and fountains. It is made of pure white marble. Now, if I talk about the political history of the Mughal dynasty, देखो syllabus में इतने नाम नहीं है. Don't get worried if you see the names on the screen, the things which are going on to show. So don't get worried about this. The important points I am going to talk about. So if I talk about the political history of the Mughal dynasty, so children, you all know that the rulers of the Mughal dynasty, I am just mentioning you, the rulers of the Mughal dynasties are as follows. The first one was Babur, the second one was Humayun, third one and fourth means second one Humayun, and after that Akbar. Then came Jahangir, then came Shah Jahan, then Aurangzeb, and after Aurangzeb, they were the later Mughals. And the last Mughal ruler was, who was the last Mughal ruler, children? Tell me the answer. Who was the last Mughal ruler? Answer it fast. Who was the last Mughal ruler during the time of 1857? Okay, children, let me tell you. See, as you know, that Babur was the person who introduced this concept. See, firstly, let me introduce about Babur. If I talk about Babur, then I should be beginning with, okay, my question was, who was the last Mughal emperor? The answer is Bahadur Shah Zafar or Bahadur Shah II. Very good. The answer is correct. So now children, let me introduce about Babur. See, Babur was from the year 1526 to 1530. See, I have made an asterisk mark on Babur. It means it is not in your syllabus. Babur is not in your syllabus. But you should be knowing, then only the story will begin. See, the founder of the Mughal Empire in India was Babur. He was the son of the ruler of Farghana. और ये अब जो फरगाना है ये किस में आता है? उज़्बेकिस्तान में. A small principality of Central Asia. He was a descendant of Taimur from his father's side and descendant of Genghis Khan on his mother's side. He became the ruler of Kabul. After he was ousted from Farghana, he turned his attention towards India, which was ruled by Ibrahim Lodi at this time. जब बाबर भारत की तरफ आए, तब भारत पे रूल करने वाला इंसान था इब्राहिम लोधी. तब उस समय रूल भारत पे था इब्राहिम लोधी का. अब जब ये भारत में एंट्री इनकी हुई, सो देयर वाज द फर्स्ट बैटल ऑफ पानीपत. पहला बैटल हुआ पानीपत का. ओके, नाउ व्हाट वाज दैट? बाबर वॉज इन्वाइटेड, बाबर को इन्वाइट किया गया था. बाबर वॉज इन्वाइटेड बाय द नोबल्स ऑफ इब्राहिम लोधी टू कम टू इंडिया एंड डिफीट इब्राहिम. सोचो, इब्राहिम के ही जो मिनिस्टर्स थे, जो नोबल्स थे, इनके जो इब्राहिम लोधी के ही जो मिनिस्टर्स थे, उन लोगों ने इन्वाइट किया बाबर को. और किस लिए बुलाया? कि वो भारत में आए और इब्राहिम लोधी को हराएं, मतलब अपने ही राजा को हराना चाहते थे. A battle was fought on the plains of Panipat in 1526 and Babur won the battle. और बाबर ने वो युद्ध जीत लिया. Babur proclaimed himself the emperor of Delhi. Babur proclaimed himself the emperor of Delhi and Agra. दिल्ली और आगरा दोनों का यहाँ पे राजा अपने आप को डिक्लेयर किया बाबर ने. He then fought 3 more battles. इसके बाद 3 और युद्ध उन्होंने लड़े. पहला, let's talk about the first one, that is Battle of Khanwa in 1527. Battle of Khanwa or Khanwa in 1527 against the Rajput leader Rana Sanga. किससे लड़ा इन्होंने? राणा सांगा से. He defeated the Rajput king. बाबर ने राजपूत किंग को हरा दिया. He defeated the Rajput king and consolidated his position in the north. और नॉर्थ में ये काफी मजबूत हो गए. अच्छा, इसके बाद द सेकंड बैटल ऑफ चंदेरी, इसके बाद उन्होंने दूसरा जो बैटल लड़ा था वो लड़ा था चंदेरी में. द सेकंड बैटल ऑफ चंदेरी दैट वाज इन द ईयर 1528. उन्होंने किसके अगेंस्ट लड़ा था? ही फॉट इट अगेंस्ट मेदिनी राय ऑफ चंदेरी इन मालवा. बैटल कहां पे हुआ था? मालवा में हुआ था. इसके बाद तीसरा बैटल, फाइनली ही डिफीटेड द कंबाइंड फोर्सेस ऑफ अफगान्स एंड नुसरत शाह ऑफ बंगाल इन द बैटल ऑफ घाघरा. और ये बैटल हुआ था हमारा 1529 में. टोटल इन्होंने 4 बैटल लड़े, मींस 1526, 1527, 1528 और 1529 में. टोटल ही फॉट 4 बैटल्स. सी, ये चारों बैटल जीतते गए. बिसाइड्स बीइंग अ ग्रेट सोल्जर, ये बहुत अच्छे सिपाही थे, साथ में वो बहुत पढ़े लिखे इंसान थे. बाबर वॉज अ ग्रेट स्कॉलर टू. ही रोट हिज ऑटोबायोग्राफी दैट इज तुजुके बाबरी, which is considered a great piece of literature. Babur was also a great lover of nature, poet, sportsman and a music lover. And children, this person, this candidate died in the year 1530. देखो, इसमें से हमें याद कुछ नहीं करना है. Don't try to learn anything. ये हमारे बाबर जो हमारे सिलेबस में नहीं है. You can see I have made an asterisk. बाबर के साथ मैंने स्टार बना रखा है. सो दैट्स नॉट इन योर सिलेबस, बट यू शुड बी नोइंग. आपको पता होना चाहिए, तभी आगे समझ में आएगा. बाबर इज क्लियर टू ऑल? Children, you should be giving the response fast. Babar is clear to all? Ridhima, Shubhi, Aditi and Pratham. Nikhil, just tell me it is clear to you? Okay, no problem beta, only 3 battles are mentioned and don't worry. Ridhima, this topic is clear. Babar is clear. Pratham, Nikhil, Aditi. Okay children. Now let's move to the questions. थोड़ा सा हम लोग अब क्वेश्चंस की तरफ बढ़ते हैं. I have made certain questions, so let me move to the questions. और आंसर्स बहुत सोच के देना. Don't be in a haste and don't give the wrong answers. So my first question is, you can see the first question. It would be visible soon on your screen. Aditi, my voice is audible or not? So children, the first question is, in which year and by whom was the Mughal dynasty founded? In which year and by whom was the Mughal dynasty founded? Answer it fast. Okay. Yes, other children also give the answer. Shubhi, Aditi, all the people give the answer. Okay, children. So the first answer is by Babur in 1526. Now, children, my second question is who wrote AIN-I-AKBARI? Second question is who wrote AIN-I-AKBARI? In your answer, see to it that you don't make any spelling error. Who wrote AIN-I-AKBARI? Okay, correct answer. The answer is Abul Fazl or Abul Fazl. Now, children, the third question. The third question is, it is going to be soon visible. Third question is, what were the three obligations? What were the three obligations of the Rajput states to Akbar? We haven't done this, but just you would have studied. Tomorrow I will be doing the Rajput, so just tell me the answer. What were the three obligations? What were the three obligations of the Rajput states to Akbar? Let's give the answer of this question. What were the three obligations of the Rajput states to Akbar? No one is knowing. Yes, children, try out your luck. Okay, children, now let's move to the answer. The answer of this question is, the 3 points were regular payment of tribute. First point is, pay attention, regular payment of tribute. Second point, maintenance of contingents for the imperialism and circulation of Mughal coin in their territories. Okay, now I want the answer from all the children. My fourth question is, name the important departments of the central government under Akbar. Okay, children, the question is, name the important departments of the central government under Akbar. The first one is, the departments you can see, revenue, finance, defense, religious endowment and charity, and the next one is imperial household. Okay, now let's move to the other question. Now this one you would have studied surely. Who were the gems of Akbar's court? Who were the gems of Akbar's court? Well, children, give the answer for this. Who were the gems of Akbar's court? Okay, now let me tell you the answer. Who were the gems of Akbar's court? So they were Abul Fazl, Faizi, Raja Todermal, Man Singh, Abdul Rahim Khanan, Fakir Aziauddin, Mulla Do Piazza, Birbal and Tanseh. So these are the answers. You can see the name. Abul Fazl, Faizi, Raja Todermal, Man Singh, Abdul Rahim Khana, Fakir Aziauddin, Mulla Do Piazza, Birbal and Tanseh. Okay. Now, let's move to the other question. Easy question, the last question for today. This is the last question for today and I need all the answers. Who was the last Mughal ruler? Yes, children, answer. Who was the last Mughal ruler? You all would be knowing this answer. Yes, children, responded fast. Who was the last Mughal ruler? Okay, so the answer for this question is, yes, right answer, Pridhima, good. That's the right answer. Okay, children, so the answer for this question is correctly given by Ridhima Singh and Shubh Yadav. The right answer is Bahadur Shah Zafar. Okay, children, so for today, this much only. Tomorrow, I'll be starting from Humayun and then I'll be moving towards Akbar. See, देखो बाबर हुमायूं हमारे सिलेबस में नहीं है, बट दीज आर द आउटलाइंस. अगर ये हम आउटलाइन नहीं पढ़ेंगे तो डायरेक्ट अकबर समझ में नहीं आएंगे. So that's why these outlines are very crucial. So that's all for today. We'll be meeting in the next class with Humayun and Akbar. Till then, take care and just